What's up, everyone? All right, so in this episode, I'm going to teach you how to identify an imposter. I'm traveling and trading, as I often do. That's one of the really nice things about being a day trader, is that as long as you've got an internet connection, you can do this from anywhere in the world. So I'm traveling right now in Antigua, in the Caribbean, and I was walking along this pathway with my wife, and I said, these flowers are beautiful. This is so colorful. It's awesome here. And she said, well, that's not a flower. That plant is an imposter. I said, an imposter? What do you mean? And she said, look closer. And what you'll notice is that the pink that you were looking at, the pink is the leaf. These are just a lot of pink leaves. Those aren't flowers. Now there is a little flower, but it's a tiny little minuscule flower. You barely even call it a flower. It's so little. Who could really care about that? So this whole bush really is an imposter. There's a lot of fluff. It's a lot of fake flower, not a lot of real flower, not a lot of real substance. And of course, when I saw that, I thought immediately of day trading. Because in this industry, there's a lot of fluff. There's a lot of liars out there. Day traders, as it turns out, they're a tough bunch. And if you've looked for any traders on YouTube, social media, you've probably seen a lot of this. So how do you identify the real day traders, the real flowers, from the imposters, like this plant back here? Let me give you a couple of tips. One of the first things, just like this shrub, is looking a little bit more closely, not just taking everything on face value. Don't judge a book by its cover. Sometimes people will say, Ross, I don't think you could possibly be a real trader because you dress like you're a homeless man, or you don't drive a Rolls Royce, you don't fly in private jets, you fly commercial. How pathetic. And I would say that's judging a book by its cover. On the other hand, someone that's flashing their wealth, that puts up a lot of fluff, just like this shrub back here, you have to be a little skeptical. The private jets, the fancy cars, it's probably all rented. You know, it's about the lifestyle that they're selling. Why are they trying so hard to sell it? Why are they pushing it? So one of the things that I would say is to try to figure out whether or not a trader is the real deal, whether or not someone is an imposter, is by just simply asking whether or not they actually make money. I think this is sort of, in this industry, the base criteria of qualifying yourself to be authoritative on the topic you're speaking on. So I talk about trading. I've turned a less than $600 account into over $10 million. I'm at like 12 point something right now in gross profit. So of course I have that broker statement on the website, and I had all those broker statements audited by an independent accountant. So now, why wouldn't anyone who's made $1 million trading or whatever it is and is trying to teach a class or be out there on social media, why wouldn't they do the same? Why wouldn't they put out their broker statements? Why wouldn't they get them audited? It's not that hard. So the reason, in my opinion, it's just my opinion, the reason they don't is because they can't. Because it's a no-brainer to do it, because it's what establishes you as being credible. Now, there's certainly people out there that make $5,000 or $10,000 trading and think, oh, now I can teach a class and sell it for $100 or $200, and they might end up making more money teaching that class than on trading. And for all the people out there that are taking that class, how do they know the person they're learning from, whether what they're teaching is really valuable, if it hasn't worked for them, right? That's the ultimate question. Now, it's not to say that someone couldn't be a great teacher but just not be able to execute the trades on their own, because there are those circumstances, whether it's emotional or whatever the reason is that's holding them back. They could have good theory but not a good execution. So, okay. But I would say first and foremost, to try to identify an imposter, you want to look for the profits. Show me the broker statements. And if they don't have broker statements, well, that right there for me is enough of a red flag that I would move on. Now, if they do have broker statements, to me, they're not an imposter. So you might not like their strategy. You might say that strategy is not for me for whatever reason, but they're not an imposter. Now, one of the other things you have to do on social media is you have to look very carefully, especially the people commenting. I get this all the time, and you will see it on this video right here. You will see people down below in the comments. They'll make a comment. They might reply to a comment that you make, and let's test it out. Make a comment, any comment. Just say, hey, great video, whatever you want. Or be like, great beard, whatever you want. Really great beard. You don't have to flatter me, but hey, why not? Make a comment, and let's see what happens. Someone's going to reply to that comment. Their profile picture is going to be me. It's going to be my face, and they're going to say, hey, WhatsApp message me. They're going to give you their Telegram, their WhatsApp, whatever, and they're going to say, message me, contact me above. Why would they want you to contact them? If you did, and I have before, I went undercover to try to find an imposter, to get to the bottom of it. So I went undercover, and I contacted one of these imposters, and they said, we are doing account management services. And if you want me to trade for you, all you have to do is send me money, $10,000, whatever it is. They'll give you some amount, maybe it's 1,000, 5,000, 10,000, and we'll start trading that account for you. And we'll send you on a weekly basis, we'll send you, X amount. They make a big claim. Well, that for sure is an imposter. If it sounds too good to be true, in that case, it really is. And unfortunately, that is a major problem all across social media. And it's a problem in the sector of personal finance especially. Why is that? The personal finance sector, or whatever you want to call it, this little industry, it's not a little industry. There's a lot of money to be made. And there's a lot of people consuming the content, like the videos that I make, but all of the content that's in this industry. A lot of the people watching it are watching it because they want to better their lives. They want to try to become more independent, to develop some financial self-sufficiency, to become self-reliant. And if that means trading or investing or dividend investing, whatever the case may be, that's something they'll be interested in. And so sometimes people that are in this space consuming content can be a bit vulnerable because they're searching for something. And so if there's an imposter out there that says, hey, look, this is all you have to do, it's so easy, there are people that will fall for it. And I wish it didn't happen. So I hope perhaps this episode here helps educate you on how to avoid falling into the trap of getting fooled by an imposter. Whether it's an imposter that does a really good impression of a flower, an imposter that presents like they're a successful trader, looks like a professional trader, but doesn't have the profits to back it up, therefore big red flag. Or it's maybe some of the more obvious imposters that are literally pretending to be other people and trying to trick you out of your money. You have to be diligent. You have to really be smart. You have to be a critical thinker. You have to be careful. So protect yourself, be cautious, and I hope this episode has helped you spot an imposter because they are all around us.